Okay, so now I'm presenting to you guys the food app. Um, so my name's Kilishi and my teammate is Yun Yunsho Cho, and we have not decided about our app's name yet, but we'll discuss about it later. So what we're gonna do is a restaurant app. So what inspired us was that we saw a whole bunch of tablets inside, for example, Applebee or Red Robin, which is a burger place. So basically, they have a tablet device on every single table that have a lot of functions built inside. For example, ordering, um, payment, games. Um, yeah, it's very cool, and I definitely think there's a huge need for this kind of app. So there are existing ones. There are two types basically. One of them is the type that directly goes onto your cell phone, um, which we can see right here. This is one of the Chinese app called Meituan, and it will actually take care of your deliveries. And on the right hand side is the one that I just talked about. So on our app, we mainly would have three components, or possibly four. The first one would be the ordering menu, which will have appetizer, desserts, drink, and food, which is like any other restaurant app. We'll possibly put a calorie summary in there, just for some special customers. And the second part will be the service menu. Um, since we're designing for the tablets inside the restaurant, we'll have it able to call for the service, call for any help. And then we'll possibly have a membership management interface depending on if the restaurant wants to have one. And we'll probably have a future improvement interface if the restaurant decided to have one. Then we'll have the third accessory menu, which will have some useful information but not necessary, more like an optional menu. So restaurant can put their basic info inside, like the history of the restaurant, their famous cooks, and a possible portal to some pre-installed licensed Android games. And the last one would be the payment menu, but we aren't sure about that because we can't get approval for merchant. At least we don't know how it works right now, so we'll do some further research on that and make a decision. So how the work will be divided? Ideally, it will be divided half and half, into two of us equally. And I think we all agree on to work asynchronously. So while one is working on one part, the other one will be working on the other part. So that's pretty good. And the only problem is like we don't know which part would take longer. Whoops. And we still need to further look into that. So right now, a very rough timeline will just basically separate every single main menu into a week period. And like I mentioned before, one of us would focus on a part of the ordering menu while the other one would work on the other part. So should be reasonable. And what should we expect as updates? So we will provide fully functional modules and videos of how we play testing and some screenshots and possibly a bug list or problems that we cannot find a solution. And then what will be the final result? We will have the app running on the real device, and we will pull up a real-time database. And as we do all the operations, the database should have the corresponding info updated. So we have a proven evidence of the app is actually running as intended. So about the mockup, forget about everything that I type here. So basically, I don't find any elements that can work on a tablet. So I basically just hand drawn everything. Let me pull it down to the next slide. It looks something like this. So supposedly there should be a hidden menu button. It should be visible, but should occupy little to none space. And then we should have important information like titles right here. And we should have most of the stuff in graphics form, because text are ugly and pictures are better. And we'll try to get graphics as much as possible, but also keep in mind that a lot of them are copyrighted. So either we find a restaurant that's willing to provide us with everything that we want, or we're just trying to find copyright-free content. More like a menu in a virtual world other than a real restaurant. That's our current plan right now. Yep, that should be everything in the presentation, and that's it. Thank you.